TV. Well, the show is rolling on, and like we promised you earlier, we'll be taking a look at the Nigerian movie industry. That's Nollywood for you. So the Nigerian film industry produces about 50 movies per week. That's a large number. And second only to Bollywood in India and more than Hollywood in the United States. Now, although it's still, the revenues are still not at par with those two industries, Nollywood still generates an impressive $590 million annually. That's $590 million on a yearly basis. So believing that if the industry is properly managed, a million more jobs could be created in the sector. Now, Nollywood films have a large following in Africa and among Africans around the world. So today we will be taking a look at the Nigerian film industry, and with us in the studio we have a movie producer. Yes, we have a movie producer, Anita Anwuna. Did I get that right?
Yes.
Yes, she's right here in the studio, and together we'll be talking Nollywood. Good morning and welcome to Daybreak
Good
Extra.
morning. Good morning.
Yes, so it's nice to have you here.
Thank you. It's glad,
All right.
I'm glad to be here.
Good. First of all, you're a movie producer.
Yes.
Everybody wants to be an actor or a writer or something else. Why movie production?
I actually didn't want to be a movie producer. I just wanted to direct my film.
Okay.
And I just had trouble getting a producer that I connected with and was ready to do the job for me. So I don't know, I think God just wanted me to do this because I found myself having to do both producing and directing, which was very, very tough. But yeah, it just came to my life.
So you're a director as well?
Yes.
So you're a producer slash director?
Yes.
Oh, that's nice.
Can you give us details on how it started or how it appeared or came to your life?
Okay, so I always knew when I was growing up that entertainment is my world. I always thought I would be a performer rather than someone, behind the scenes. But at first it was music, but that dream kind of died down because my parents were like, you have to go to school and you have to study something reliable and blah, blah, blah. So I did, and then the passion for music kind of died down. Then my mom, even though she supported my dad in saying I should go to school, do and study something else, she still was very supportive of my dreams. So she said, go to film school, do acting. So I listened to that, I went, and when I got there, I discovered that I had the appetite for directing, being behind the camera. So that was in New York Film Academy, so when I came back to Nigeria, I said, okay, I'm going to try this acting thing out, but I really want to direct my own film. So I tried here in Abuja, I tried to go for auditions and stuff. It was very nerve-wracking, and I didn't have a lot of opportunities. So I just got fed up of waiting for anyone, and I decided, do you know what, I'm going to go to the University of YouTube and Google, and I'm going to teach myself this filmmaking thing, and I'm going to figure out how to write a story, and I'll just do it. So I just started that journey basically from there. And then now I'm here.
So you write your stories as well?
Yeah, I don't like it, but when something comes to mind, I put it down and I try to develop it.
How do you combine directing, script writing, and also producing?
Well, with the script writing one and the directing and producing, it's different times, so they don't really interfere with each other. But the producing and directing, that's tough. It's really, really tough because it's like two powerhouses that you kind of do, they intersect. So honestly, it didn't kill me. I found a way to, I think the main thing is be very prepared. Be very prepared. Make sure before you start the actual production that everything has been figured out, so it's easier, and then have other people working for you that you can delegate things to. So that's the main.
So you have a movie out?
Yes, I do. How
long did it take you to actually direct and produce that movie from conception to post-production?
After the script was done, it was filmed in 2020, the end of 2020. So it's taken almost like a year and a half, basically. So many challenges, so many disappointments, but finally.
So what were the major challenges you actually encountered?
because I think my inexperience, not having like active relationships with people, not knowing a lot of people that I could rely on, that know me as a creative, and I know them as a creative, and we just gel. So it was like our relationships were being established while the job was being done, which was a huge challenge. You know, and then being a female, you also have men making advances at you, which is a huge distraction. You already have these 2 jobs that you have to do, and then now you have that, and just things like that, basically.
Okay, so but what was it like, you know, working on your first movie, especially budget-wise?
It's very difficult to get, you know, get people to invest in your film when you don't have any track record. So basically, the people that would really be interested in taking a chance on you would be your family members mostly, and they would then help you from there, like to get other people. Yeah, that's the way. I know.
So did you spend so much money?
I think I did because, you know, because of the inexperience, that so many things that you realize, oh, maybe I shouldn't have poured this much, or I made a mistake, so now I have to make up for it, and you're spending more money. So I don't think that the film should have cost as much as it did.
Okay.
So.
Right, so let's move away from you and your movie in particular. Let's talk about the Nigerian movie industry generally. A lot of people, myself included, think the Nigerian movie industry is all about quantity. Let's get these movies out, you understand? And the quality really is not there. Where do you stand on that?
I mean, I think it's improving. I think maybe it started out with the love of movies, but not necessarily like about art. And Nigeria is a hard country. Everyone wants to make money. Like for some, they just look at it as a business. Let's just do this and cash out immediately. While for some other people, that like the newer filmmakers, it's about like, let's make something good. Like let's create art. Let's tell a real story. So I think it's improved over time. And again, a lot of people didn't go to like a film school where they could learn and know exactly how to make or what to make.
So, but do you actually think, because a lot of Nigerian movies these days, you know, they come up with the idea today, tomorrow they're already working on it, and by the day after it's out. Do you think more Nigerian producers and directors should actually take their time to, you know, when it comes to post-production, or is it possible for one to actually come out with a movie of quality in one day or in 1 week? Let's just say 1 week.
In 1 week?
Now, you said 50 movies in 1 week, right?
Yeah,
in Nigeria.
In Nigeria, the average.
Exactly.
Okay, I think he meant that it's like in 1 week, 50 movies are finished and released, but they're not made in 1 week.
Some actually make some in 1 week.
I mean, like, seriously, there was this thing that happened recently now. I can't remember exactly what it was.
But then the movie came out in 3 days.
Exactly, in like 3-4 days, you had a movie about it.
A feature film?
Yes.
Wow.
In 2-3 days, you had a movie about it. It was something that actually happened. I can't remember.
I don't
what
remember
it was.
too, but I know what you're talking about. It's not the first time.
In 2-3 days, you had a movie about it, and it was there, and people were buying and watching.
Well, I mean, I won't knock them down. If you watch the film and it's of good quality.
It can't be of good quality. How can it be of good quality? When you do something in 3 days, it took you a year and a half to do yours.
Well, I mean, it shouldn't have taken me that long to do it. Like,
yes, but still, good movies take time, don't they?
They do. Like you need to let your stories simmer. You know, like take your time. When you think you've done a good job, wait and then look at it again. Let other things inspire you. But if you've reached a level in your career where you know all the right people who are very, very good at what they do, and you work well with them, and you've been putting down like ideas. I've been working on ideas for a long time, that you can just wake up one morning and be like, I'm going to just pull people together. I have the money. Like everything is right. Everything is in alignment. So you can just go ahead and do that and make your film.
Okay, that's why I was shocked when you actually when you decided to be a producer, because if you're a producer, that means you're the money person. You pull everybody together. You get the people who do casting, post production, editing, everything. You hire everybody. You're the boss.
Yeah.
Why did you want to take up the challenge like that?
I didn't want to.
But you had to.
I had to. I found myself in a position where I had to. And even when I was doing it, because, I mean, there are stories behind, I tried to get producers. There are stories behind why it didn't work out. And if I told you the story, you'd be like, okay, yeah, you had to, like, it made sense to leave that person. You know, like, it's better that you do it yourself, and because you trust yourself. And they've already proven that there might be, it might not work out for you in your favor at the end. So
okay, just to add to what he said, now you have these people from different places, you know, working together to achieve a common goal. It must have been very, very difficult. How were you able to communicate with them?
It was difficult, mainly because I pulled them from different parts of Nigeria, which in a way was a mistake. But on WhatsApp, calling them on the phone, there was always a group where if it's a group of like the head of departments, group of just everyone, so we're always sharing information. It wasn't difficult communicating.
Okay. All right, so now what would you say is the most important skill for a producer to have when, you know, producing for TV or producing for a movie? The most important skill.
The most important skill. I just think it's leadership. Like, you need to know what you want, and you need to be able to get people to do exactly what you want. You know, people need to feel that you're in charge of your production, of your project, so that they can follow your lead, and so you won't be taken advantage of, and you know, people won't have ideas of how to disrupt your projects.
Well, in Nigeria, we like to feel good about ourselves. We really do. You know, we'll say we're second in terms of volume when it comes to movies. It's Bollywood and then Nollywood, and we're all happy and we sing Kumbaya. But the thing is, do you think we are at the level, quality-wise, that we can say we can be able to compete with some of these movie industries?
Well, on our own, if like Netflix didn't come in, I don't think that I could say that we're at the level. But I don't know if you've seen the new Netflix show Blood Sisters.
Everybody's talking about it. I haven't seen it.
Yeah, like, it's the best so far.
But everybody's talking about
Do you know,
it.
I wish you didn't actually mention that particular movie, because I wanted to ask you something in the end on that movie. But we'll still get to that.
No, you can still ask me.
No, not now. We'll get to that. I want to wrap up with that particular question.
Yeah, so like when you watch it, you can tell that they took time. They made sure that it made sense. They made all the right choices, even with the camera. Everything was on point. Production design, lighting, sound, everything was on point.
Okay, you're saying that the acting, a lot of people have actually complained about a few characters, talking about Blade, that's the assassin, and Uche Jumbo being casted as the mother of someone who is, you know, almost her age. Yeah. But then if you could change anything in that particular movie that a lot of people say is perfect, what would you change?
I wouldn't change the casting, because the reason people are saying is because they know her age. If they didn't know her, they wouldn't say, oh no, she's too young to be the mother. You don't know. There are a million stories that could be behind why she's, you know, young and has a child that old. Then for me personally, I didn't have a problem with like Blade, or my problem was with
sharpness,
story. Yeah, I just found the story to be weak in certain places, like the fact that they made Blade. Oh, I don't want to spoil it. I don't want to spoil the show.
No.
That's the thing. No, but it's not for me. It's not for me. You have other people out there who haven't seen it, and you want to spoil it for them.
This would actually make them want to see it.
No, really, not if she's giving out spoilers. So please, don't spoil it for them.
You're talking for yourself.
I'm not talking for myself. I'm talking for other people. I probably won't watch it. So,
but even at that, they won't still understand until they watch it.
Look. The thing is, I'm not talking about Blood Sisters. I'm talking about Nigerian movies in general. You understand? You haven't really landed on the question that I asked. Do you think we are on the, well, we're definitely not on the same level. I
Yeah.
know we're not, but are we on the path to becoming, to getting on
Yes,
this?
yes, I think so because, like since I started this filmmaking journey, I've like been in like, I go for master classes and other things, other workshops. So I meet other filmmakers and I hear about like they're very ambitious. They want to try this new thing. They want to do, they're very challenged by this filmmaking thing. So I know that there are people who want to do it and they just have things in their way. So I think it will improve as time goes. Like you can even see how it's improved to Blood Sisters. So.
But that's just one in like a lot.
Yeah, but yesterday there wasn't. Today there is. So there's improvement.
All right. So, well, is it so? Where you, as far as you're concerned, we're on the way to attaining that.
Yes, I think.
All right. So, what is the bane of the Nigerian movie industry? Really, is it that we lack the talent? Is it that we lack the necessary investment? Is it a question of having the right equipment or having the right people? What actually is the problem?
I think we have a talent. I think we lack the investment. Yes, I think we do because, to be honest, back to Blood Sisters, the reason why we like, I feel that they decided to make it as good as it is because Netflix came. Netflix has a standard, and everyone's trying to meet that standard. So they felt more like challenged and motivated to take their time and make sure the story was right, especially for that production house that I think they had a film that didn't do very well, so they were trying to come back strong. So and Netflix, I think I don't know what their arrangements was, if Netflix actually poured money into it, but I imagine that they supported in some way. So if we have more investment, people would want to do bolder things with filmmaking, and that's how we will grow. Because the stories are there, and people want to tell them. And I think that if they have the right investment, they can definitely do it. Because if they don't know how, they'll be motivated to go learn how.
Okay, let's talk about your movie, right? How have you been able to actually get it out there?
I got a distributor, a distribution company. So someone introduced me to this distribution company, and they are the ones who did all of the approaching to different cinemas, okay. And then after cinema, like wherever else. Okay. So I'm following their lead.
Okay. So far, how has what's the rating like, and what about the reviews? Because it dropped yesterday, and for you to actually get a lot of people to get to see the movie, you have to do a lot of you have to push publicity. You have to push it on the internet. Even verbally and everything. So, would you say you've actually done a good job at that? Because I never heard of the movie.
I wouldn't say I've done a good job. I wouldn't say I've done a bad job either, because you have to remember this is like the beginning for me. So I've done what I know to do and what I'm capable of, and I'm still trying. Okay. So and again, I didn't get like the A-listers who could just easily sell the film just by being on the poster, but. I'm still trying. I'm still trying.
I think you just made a point now about getting A-listers and what you actually do. So, is it what really drives a movie? Is it the actors that you get to interpret these roles, or the story itself?
It just depends. Every movie is different. For some movies, it's the actors, the A-list actors, because depending on who the producer or producers are, if you just want your film to just guarantee make money, then you hire the A-listers because they already have a following.
But that means you spend more.
You spend more. You just know the areas where you want to invest. Some people want to invest more in hiring this A-list actors, and they don't really care about if the story is fantastic or not, and they might not have other things going for the film, but they will definitely make their money because they have these star actors. While other productions might focus on everything else, have good production design, good cinematography, good everything else, but you don't have those actors that everybody knows and everybody wants to see. But platforms like Netflix will value a movie with good story and good everything, even if it doesn't have star actors, and they would also value a good film with star actors. But I don't know if they'll still take a good film with star actors that isn't good. I don't know.
So what does it for you as a movie? You do watch movies. So when
Yeah.
you watch movies, when you watch a movie, what do you look out for? Do you look out for the story? Do you look out for the action? What does it for you as a movie watcher?
For me, it's the story and the acting. Like, it's the story, not the actors, but the story and the acting. Like, if the story is really good and then the actors have acted it believably, and the production, production value is high, then that's it for me. I've never watched the film because of like a particular actor. Like, I don't really care. Like, if the acting is good, story is good, especially the story, I'll watch it. Yeah.
Okay, well, during production, right, did you ever think of quitting? And how were you able to motivate
Absolutely.
yourself?
I definitely thought of quitting during production. I was like, this is what it is. Oh my God, I don't know if I can do it. I don't know if I'll do this again. But I didn't quit because I'm actually not a quitter, and in everything I've done in my life, I've never thought of quitting. It was just this one that I thought of quitting. But I knew that I had to see it through. I had to finish it and then never do it again. Well, I just finished it now. So after like how long it's taken, I've been able to heal and see why it was this difficult here and stuff like that. And I feel better about doing it again. I've found my bearing just a little bit, and I feel more confident about it. We shall see.
So now with the experience that you've gained, do you think your next movie is going to be easier?
Yes, I think it's going to be easier. It has to be. I'm not starting from the same place that I started from. Now I know some people. I have learned from all of the things that I got wrong. I know. I'm more knowledgeable, so I know my way better than I did when I started. So I think it will be easier.
To Daybreak Extra on Trust TV. Well, we're talking Nollywood right here in the studio, and of course, I'm trying to see if there, what prospects we actually have as a movie industry. We talked about talent, we've talked about investment, and but one thing that we've actually have a problem with, or we've had a problem with in Nollywood, has always been distribution, with the piracy and whatnot. And now with DVDs being almost phased out, how challenging is it to get your movie out there and, of course, make some money?
I mean, once you have a distributor, like you have the company working for you, because I guess we don't have a lot of distribution companies, but those guys are the ones who do all of the, the hard work of finding where your film should go. So as the producer, you shouldn't have to worry about that. You should just worry about finding them.
The distributors.
Yeah, and then you also have to make sure that your content is something that they would be interested in, pushing, because at the end of the day, it's what people like. You have to have what people want to watch, and that's how they make their money. So just make sure that they would want your film or your whatever it is.
Okay, so as someone who just started, would you say there are enough opportunities for people with limited experiences in the industry?
Enough opportunities. I don't know. It depends on what exactly it is you want to work, like, because there are different jobs. Is it as an actor, or is it as a someone in the crew? Um, Obviously, if you're trying to be a producer, then it's up to you. Like, no one is really giving you the opportunity. But if you're as an actor, I would say maybe, yeah, especially in Abuja when we don't have a lot of productions, and you really have to rely on getting the job. I
What
would say,
about
yeah,
as a
let me just,
producer?
as a producer, it's just about you and your strength. You know, if you're able to get investors, you're able to. It's really about you and your own abilities, unlike all the others where you have to be hired.
All right, so this is a question that we generally ask almost everybody when it comes to entertainment in Nigeria. There's this general belief that for you to actually do well in the entertainment industry in Nigeria, most especially for an area like Nollywood, that you have to be based in a particular part of the country, a particular state in the country, the Southwest, in Lagos. Let me just say that. That you have to be in Lagos to actually make it. Do you subscribe to that?
No, I don't. I live in Abuja. I filmed in Abuja, and like throughout this journey, everyone has said, "Oh, you should move to Lagos. You should move to Lagos," because that's the first thing that they think, like entertainment, Lagos. But they don't really think, "Oh, your job doesn't really require you to, be there full time," because if you can film somewhere else, there's so many things. I think you need Lagos because at the end of the day, they're the ones, they have the population of people who are interested in what you have to put out. And they're the ones that, not just, like, there's a culture there for that. So you need to definitely go market there and release whatever there. But you don't have to live there. You can just do your job wherever else and then go market there and go.
Okay, so what do you think the future of filmmaking will be like in Nigeria, in Nollywood, let's say in the next 5 years?
In the next 5 years, I think there will be more international shows. Like, there will be, like,
Collaborations, right?
yeah, and collaborations. But, like, I think because it's one thing to make a film as a Nigerian and Nigerians watching. It's another thing for you to make it and the whole world is interested in watching it. It means that you've gotten an interesting story and you've told it in a way that pulls everyone in. Everyone around the world can relate to it, and you've met a certain standard, like quality in terms of production. So I think that we're headed that way.
So, do you think there are enough movie producers like yourself, like young movie producers like yourself, producers, directors in the industry, and do you think it's a good thing to have people going into things like this?
I haven't looked into this before, if they're young producers or not, but I would just guess and say there aren't, because I think people look at the job as being, too big or too high up there. And a lot of people don't trust their own abilities. So, yeah, being a producer is, I didn't trust or not trust my ability. I just found myself there, and I realized you have to do this. But there's so many things I didn't trust myself to do, and I ended up having to do. And then I realized, oh, okay, I can do this. So if more people would just trust themselves and have the ambition to be a producer, they should just go into it immediately. You don't have to, and then learn from there. You don't have to necessarily work your way up from being a production assistant to all these things. I think there are many other ways to learn the job.
Okay, well, the title of your movie is Banned from Downstairs. Earlier you complained about, some things being a mistake, like getting people from different places you didn't know and all that. But now that it's done, what are you most proud of about the movie?
I am most proud of the fact that there's a movie because what I had in mind, my vision for what I wanted to, the story I wanted to tell, and what it is now are not the same. So I fought for this film to, to be made, to finally finish. I've heard other people's first-time stories of how the money finished and they couldn't finish the production and, all these things. But at least I was able to finish. So I'm proud that I was able to finish this film at the end of the day. And it might not be perfect, but at least it's something that you can watch and gain from.
And are you working on something already?
I'm working on on some scripts.
Okay.
Yeah.
Script writer. Okay.
All right. So so now let's look at your movie.
Okay.
Generally, it's a nationwide release that you did yesterday.
Yes.
How many cinemas?
33 cinemas.
Okay, and it's going to play for how long?
I hope that it will play for at least a month.
That's every day?
Yeah, every day.
Okay. All right, so how difficult was it getting, even though you did say you work with a distributor, but how difficult was it for you to actually arrange for your movie to have to be in those cinemas? And do you even think we have enough cinemas to promote movies and make money?
Do we have enough? I mean, the number that we have now, I think it's not enough, but you can still make money. Like, I think in my state, I found out that we have a cinema. We didn't have before, but now we do. So I imagine that there's a cinema in every state now, at least one. Yeah. So, and you have to also remember that in Nigeria we don't have a movie culture. Like, it's not all the states that really care about this thing that much. Some people won't go to the cinema to see a film. So you have to weigh that against having the number of cinemas available. If the cinemas are there, people don't go, you're still not making money.
But for movie makers, I mean, like, the more cinemas we have, the better for everybody, because I believe that's where the money is, right?
In cinema?
Yeah.
I don't know if that's where the money is. I know that the cinemas, like, the percentages kind of are not in your favor as a producer.
So how do you make money?
You make money is just a lower percentage than the cinema.
Yeah, I understand. But so if having your movies playing in the cinema are not the main way, it's not the main way for you to make money, then how do you make money on your movie as a producer?
You just have to, distribute it to other platforms as well. So there's cinema, there's video on demand, and there's, they're like airline. There are different deals you can, there are different places you can take your film to that they'll be interested in licensing or even buying. You never know.
Because I was actually under the impression that the money is in the cinema.
Yeah. When you hear, like, the box office numbers,
exactly,
it sounds like the producer takes this home, but no, it's mostly the cinema that takes it home. So as a producer, it's that first weekend, that opening weekend, that is your best. That's where you would make the most money, because the percentages, they're higher for you that weekend, and then it goes down as the longer it stays in the cinema.
Do you think paying an A-list actor or some A-list actors, to influence the movie, or let me just say to post on their social media pages so like it garner more, viewers, would actually help when it comes to, promotion and all that?
Yes, it will help, because these celebrities have a large following in millions, and they have the influence as well. However, if you're not friends with them, they don't know, you don't have any kind of relationship with them, it's tough to get them to do that, because they will charge you, and it's also a high up their price. So that's the challenge.
Okay. Well, I think with that, we will wrap up this discussion.
You
Thank
didn't
so
ask her the question on Blood
I
Sisters. You
did.
said
I actually did, but you cut us short, so thank you for that. So thank you so much, Anita. Yes, Anita. Pronounce your name again. Your surname.
Auna.
Anguna.
Yeah.
Anita Anguna. Thank you so much for enlightening us on production and everything that should be said. Thank you. Hopefully, you get more investors to invest in your movies. More investors will actually see a potential in what you do.
Thank you so much.